Hello everyone, welcome to another rapid speedrun game against Ziadabu, rated 1310, who automatically brings his bishop out, encouraging us to play e6, putting an immovable obstacle in his path. He now plays d4, we take, it's the exact reason we play c5 on move 1. Now he takes going into some weird open Sicilian, but with bishop c4 included. So I'm not sure what that is. And now I'm just going to continue with the very standard d5, hitting the bishop for free. This does give us an isolated pawn, an isolated queen's pawn, but our pieces have open lines, easy development. He gives us a queen check, maybe he's just trying to develop a little faster. We'll simply just develop and block it. We don't want to trade queens, right, with queen e7, because then in an endgame our d pawn might become a weakness. So, well, now our pawns are connected, so it's no longer an isolated queen's pawn, and that changes the logic of the position a little bit. Our pawns are not as weak as before, although they're not, we still have more pawn islands than white. But we don't have a central isolated pawn that you could just put a rook and attack easily, right? So this is a little different. Okay, his bishop was hit, he moved it. There's an argument to be made for a5. Why? Not only does it threaten a4, but if he castles unsuspectingly, bishop a6, c4, takes. Maybe it doesn't work, but at the very least there's still the a4 threat. So instead of just developing my knight casually, I'm going to go a5. That way when he makes room and I kick it and he hides, I can do whatever I want from there. I'll gain space, bishop a6 option. And if he goes the other way, we have, wait, he moves his queen. But what about the bishop? This doesn't threaten anything. So what about the bishop? You see, that's why even though a5 may look dumb, like, oh, what's black doing? He's just doing a dumb move. If you ask yourself what's the threat, you may then be like, oh, shoot, he's trying to trap my bishop. Even if you don't realize at first, just the question makes your brain scan whether you like it or not. And now it's 10 moves in and he's like, oh, shoot, I just lost the game. And it's not because he's not good enough to see this, it's because he's not paying attention and he's not looking for it. So he castles. His bishop's still trapped, so I'm going to develop. Prepare castling as fast as I can and leave his bishop here. You don't want to cash in if you don't have to. On the other hand, you don't want to wait so long that you lose your advantage. So now he's making space, so now we should definitely take. And now he can't even get the pawn because of the rook pin, and he moved this pawn, which would have recaptured. So he might take in the center, but that will develop our queen and centralize it. So he pushes past because he doesn't want me taking that pawn. That's quite a nuisance for him. One thing he totally missed is that although he couldn't take it here, he had a queen, right? So he could have taken it with the queen. So he probably missed that and moved the pawn. We have so many moves here. It's kind of crazy. But since I'm up a piece, I'm just going to castle. I'm going to make the simplest move. Let him take the pawn. Waste a whole nother turn with the queen when he hasn't completed development. He takes in the center, but as previously mentioned, this activates our queen, helps us develop, offers a queen trade. Can't be the right move. And it happens to protect the one pawn he could have taken, so definitely not correct. You see, you don't need to know what the best move is to be able to spot bad moves, right? So I know this wasn't the best move. I mean, I don't know what the best move was for him, but I know it's not this. And it's important to be able to tell when your opponents make bad moves, A, to showcase your, and practice your understanding of the game on a zoomed out level, and B, so you can know what to do. So he develops a knight, but I mean, a queen trade is like just an automatic win, so definitely do it. And the game is over. So let's just put this on the longest diagonal. We'll play the c5. He walks into it. Okay, he's going pawn hunting, but we don't care. We're just going to play c4. We don't care about the pawn he just took. We also don't care about the c pawn. I'm only pushing it to give my bishops full scope. You don't need to even move it. You could just bring your rooks in the game. It's up to you. Here comes a rook to a random square for free. I'm not really thinking or calculating. It's too hard to mess this up for black. Okay, he just develops and defends. I mean, trades are good for us, so I don't know. Let's hop our knight in the center. Maybe we can get this on the other long diagonal, just crisscross. It's looking awfully bad for him. We're going to take his bishop next, and then we're going to put our bishop on the long diagonal, and he might resign. He's probably going to throw in a few moves, attack the pawn, whatever makes him feel good, but okay, he goes here, but I'm not even going to go down this line or whatever he wants to do. I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen to try to get him to resign. Even if they're losing, but somehow you're walking into their moves, they want to keep playing. Here, I put my bishop where I wanted it. I avoided the knight attack, and I'm still threatening to take his bishop as trades or wins. And the bishop pair is an advantage, additional. So he's toast. Okay, he protects this pawn, which I didn't even know was hanging because I'm not even paying it, like looking in that direction as far as taking pawns. I'm just trading stuff. I just took his bishop, which has a lot of scope on such an open board. Okay, he takes with the knight. No big deal. I guess we can infiltrate and double, and he'll be forced to trade one way or another. Yes, my c-pawn's hanging, but as I've mentioned already, I don't care about my c-pawn. If he goes for a draw, I'll just move my rook to e2, and then he can't attack it with the knight. You could also take on b2, but I don't really want to. Okay, he's attacking my bishop. He's just making like random one-move threats. It's kind of annoying, but I guess if you move two squares away from the knight, it dominates it in a way. So we can do it at the edge of the board and with a threat. And then we can double or attack the knight or something. The second we can trade the knight or the rooks, we're just going to do it. He has 2 pawns for the piece, but a piece is too strong. So let's attack the knight. Sure, we have a back rank issue, but we notice it, which means we're not going to fall for it. But you have to notice it. You can't just hyper focus on this and this or this. You have to look at all the board, all 4 quadrants. Got to have full map awareness and full map control. He throws this check, but all it is a trade of rooks, which we're happy to see. Although I am happy to trade, I don't feel like ruining my structure right now. I did give him 2 pawns for the piece, and it's still winning, but there's no point in like making crazy weaknesses too, especially when he's just hanging stuff. So our king needs to get in the game anyway, and we could have spent our turn making a pawn move for the back rank, but why not just move the king if it has to get in the game? Anyway, so now we can force a rook trade, which is quite nice, as we're just up a clean bishop, and Now, as things are removed from the board, it becomes more and more obvious of exactly how losing this is. So now he has no pawns for the piece. So you see, even though we gave 2 pawns, the piece is so strong that we recouped all our pawns back and then some. So it's just a clean bishop. And the second he walks his king here, we're going to pin him to guarantee the final trade. Okay, he doesn't do it just yet. Come on, just walk into it. Just do it. King up. King up. Just do it for the video. Come on, Ziadabu. He refuses. So I'm going to push and give him one last chance. Okay, fine. I give up. I'll just move my king. I was making random pawn moves. Just I would have sworn he would have moved his king up, but I guess he doesn't understand that the king needs to be moved in the endgame. So now our king is super active. It's just doing more than our bishops, which is funny. You could have taken pawns. You could do whatever you want. But this, when you put the king here, it's more of like a dominance move, saying I don't even need your pawn. I can do whatever I want because I'm a king, and I'm bullying every single piece in your position with my king-like force field that touches the 8 squares around me. Bishops, although they generally touch more than the 8 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This bishop 7, this bishop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And even if it was, let's say 9, these squares maybe they're not as relevant as the immediate ones where, you know, the king is touching every single white piece. So it's more effective. Okay. We could just start taking stuff because our king is super strong. Of course, you could convert this however you want. He's just wasting time. Actually, I think we have... Oh no. If you could get your bishop here, that would have been a cool deflection to force the trade. Let's give him a check. He has to stay tethered to the knight if he wants to defend it. But we have bishops. Okay, he doesn't stay tethered. This is not stalemate, so we take it. He finally resigns. But he should have resigned the second I played a5 and he missed it, seeing his bishop was going to get trapped. At least that's when he should have known the game was like definitely over. So we try to play a Sicilian, and we do. Development in center, center, development. Okay, we have a pretty much perfect game at 97%, but that's because he hung a bishop super early. So whenever they put the pawn here, you definitely take the central pawn with your flank pawn. And now we gain space for free and develop. It's the one way to punish the bishop being here when you did not play e5, pawn to e5, right? You punish it by playing e6 and d5. Force move for free. Force development. Force recapture. Okay, now you have a lot of moves, but a5 does make sense. Is it on the list anywhere? Okay, they have it as second best after the regular development knight of 6. But I made a clear argument on why I thought a5 was good. And even though the engine says knight of 6, if I go and if I'm in a tournament tomorrow, I'm still playing a5 because he still has to react. And whatever he does, you can go knight of 6 next. And it's not clear as to what his best response is. So if he doesn't, even if he does play perfectly, fine, black is still better. And if he doesn't play perfectly, he can just lose. So we go here. He's supposed to get it out of the way because a4 is technically an outpost. The downside of putting it on a4 is after something like queen c7, he cannot castle in this variation because now bishop a6, he doesn't have c4 resource because we just take it. But when his bishop was here, like let's say instead of bishop a4, he goes a3 to keep it here. Now if I try that, he still has c4, so it's not clear where to put your bishop and why. So I think a5 is super strong move human-wise. Then it goes from black's better at half a pawn better to minus 4.5, completely crushing. I mean, I don't even really want to go over anything at this point because if this ever happens in your game as black, you should know exactly what to do by now. You have your win condition, trade as long as those trades don't mess up your position badly, and you win. So there's nothing to really go over. But let's see a couple moves. Development and center. We don't even take it right away. We want to try to be stronger and get better. Okay, now we have to take it because it was going to run away. King safety and development. Forced recapture and development and center. Free stuff because trades are wins. And just developing a piece in center. Now all this stuff I did with the pawn is completely unnecessary, but it also is completely irrelevant. It has no effect because you're just crushing at -5. You can do whatever you want. I was just trying to sack these pawns so my bishops have absolute full scope on the board. I only want these 3 pawns guarding my king. Couldn't care less about other pawns. Development center for free. Improving a piece for free. Improving a piece for free. Free stuff because trades are wins. Improving a piece. Force move. Improving a piece for free. Development center for free. Force move. Free stuff. Improving our piece for free. You see, so even in the endgame, even my king, I'm developing and improving for free. Do you understand what that means? I'm on my back rank and yet developing for free. How many times in your games does your king develop with threats from the back rank, right? So you really just want to take full opportunity in your games. You want to just like squeeze out every free thing you can because it's smart. So we force a rook trade because trades are wins and we're just up a piece. I'm not going over anything from here. As you know, it was just a clearly smooth game, and I hope you can follow it, and I hope you're getting better at converting positions. Okay, maybe not when you're up just a pawn or something, but at least when you're up a piece, hopefully you're getting that confidence and converting that. So good luck in your chess and goodbye.